Hey guys, good day. In this video we are going to add the editing and then the deleting feature inside our product module. So previously we added this feature, the showing of images and displaying it in our HTML table. So let's open the product view.php. So as you can see here, if you remember, we added this database that show PHP, which is a dynamic way of pulling the result from our database, and then we just need to set the session so we can pull what rows of data that we want to pull, so which is located in this file. So let's just change the layout. It should be at 2 columns, then here, which is the product view. As you can see here, we just capture the table name and then return the result. So now let's update our user module first. So before we continue, let's update our users page and use to show.php instead of the show users.php. So go to users view, then here, so the same thing, let's just so instead of the table, I mean the products, let's do the users table, and then here let's replace that one with this one, and then it should be user. So once we refresh, you can see we still get the same result, so no error. So now, since we don't need this show users.php, we can just delete this file. So let's go back to product.view. So actually I'll just make it a single layout so we can see single page, the whole code. So if you are familiar with this one, in our users view.php we already have that feature. So we have the delete and then the edit. So let's start with the delete feature. So for deleting the product, we'll just add a class inside that, and then also we need to register a JavaScript event that watches an action. If this button or the delete button is clicked, then this will be triggered. So let's just copy this delete. Let's just see if we already have that one. So we have the delete user, so instead of user we'll have product, then here it should be the user ID, so it doesn't really matter as long as it is referring to, I mean, it describes what you want it to fill or the value. So here since it's a product ID, we can just use ID or product ID or maybe PID. So you can see here in our JavaScript file, we can just write our script. So just the same line of code, we initialize the script and then we have this method initialize. So if we refresh that one, let's go back to the view product. So if we refresh, you can see it returns an error, and that's because we have not created this function yet. So let's create that one. So this is a function, so let's just alert high, see if this will work. So as you can see, it returns high. So in initialize function, in our users view, we have this, we call another function which is register events. Refresh, still have not created this function, so let's just create. So let's alert, see if this will work. So it works. So here we can just copy our function, just copy this. So I'm going to explain this code, so let's just remove this one. So basically what we are doing is we calling the register events, and then here we set or declare an event listener. So if we click the document, if there's a click on this document, on this page, then we do this line of code or these commands. So if we alert hi, or I click, just return. So if we refresh, then click anywhere, as you can see, it returns the I am click. So instead of returning I am click, here we get the target element or the HTML element that was clicked. Then here we get the class list. So if there is a class or classes set on that element, then it will be returned and assigned to this variable. So let's see, let's try to log. So if we refresh, click, as you can see there's no value. Let's click the edit or edit. So as you can see here, we have this update product and update product token, also the delete. So the reason why it's refreshing, it's because the edit and delete is an A tag, and its default mechanism is to redirect to a page. So to avoid that one, so in our next line of code, we added here if class list contains this class. So now instead of delete user, we'll have the delete product, and then here this prevents the default mechanism. So return console.log e. So let's just target or show the target element. So as you can see, we don't have the log, but if we, so the edit, it's still refreshing since we still don't have a code for that in our GS. But if the delete is clicked, so as you can see, it didn't redirect to a page, and it returns the target element. So now we have the value. So the important thing that we need to pull is the ID of the product. So here we have need to pull the ID, so PID, so target element data set, and the name of the data. So here we have PID. So maybe we need to capture also the product name, description. Yeah, product name. Can just, so currently we don't have the product name yet. Let's just add data, maybe name, then product, then add the product name. So here the same line of code, but we'll use the name property. So we log PID and P name. If we refresh, this should display the ID and then the name of the product, ID, name of the product. So now we have the data. Let's just remove this. So we have this dialog. It's a plugin. It's a confirmation if we really want to delete the product. So are you sure you want to delete? So instead of full name, let's do the P name, product name, and then we have a method, the AJAX method, where we submit the data here. So usually we just submit the ID in our case, then we remove this one. So now if we delete, as you can see, are you sure you want to delete product 1? And also we need to change the danger. So this should be delete product. So this property will change the modal or the alert header. So if we click, as you can see, delete product, so we want to delete product 3 or product 1, and then here let's just make it strong so it appears unique and user have the, he'll know or she knows what product is he or she going to delete. So once we click the OK, so if it's confirmed, so is delete. If user click the is delete, then we'll just alert will be deleting, else alert cancel. So let's just return. So let's check. So if we delete, cancel, see cancelled. If we delete, we'll be deleting. So let's move this AJAX code on the statement inside the if statement. Then here we have the delete user file. As you can see here, we have this code, so we can actually use or make a single file specific for deletion, and that will capture or same thing that we did for show, where we just make the table name to be dynamic, depends on which page the user accessed. So in our delete user, we can just use this one. So delete the product name, user ID, the first name, so it's they have their different so we don't have first name last name for products. It only exists for users, so maybe we can add that. So now let's try to create a new file. Save this at delete that PHP, and then here let's update the product, so delete that PHP. So as you can see here, we have the ID, so we can just transfer or also set the table user, maybe name of our table is products, and then here just copy the code from delete user data, we put data, and then here we'll capture the ID, also the name of the table. So the first name and last name, I think we can, well actually we can make or add we can remove the message here, just return success if true or success false. Then here, since we have captured the table from this data variable or object, we can just use table then the ID. So here it won't be the user ID, we'll just use the ID, so it's referring to, or it can be used to any of our tables. Success true, if it was false, then our product view. So if data.success, then here the message. So instead of that, let's just add a variable message, and then if it's success, then we'll just use this one, so the p name, then concatenate successfully deleted, else error processing your request. So here inside the dialog alert, we can just remove this data.message and then use the message. So actually here we can use we can just write a single code. So here the type is depending on if it's success or not, so let's just use data. If it's success, then we set the type, else use this one. Then here the message is already dynamic in the callback, so we can also use, so if data successful deletion, then we'll reload the page. So here we can just remove this. As you can see, it's cleaner and it's short. So now if we refresh, then let's delete number 3. As you can see, successfully deleted. If we refresh, you You can see it is scan. Delete number 4. Product first deleted. Delete number 2. As you can see, it is deleted. So now let's move on to the editing. So before that one, let's just update the users view, since we updated since we have created a global delete.php file. We can remove the delete user. Instead we'll just use delete.php. Then the table will just use, or this will be the rules if we want to delete from any table. We should have the ID and then the table. This will be requirements. So they will have uniform properties. So the ID, which is the user ID. Then here table products will be, instead of products will have the users. So if we have the users table, and then also updated the file. So back to delete.php. As you can see, we don't need to do anything since it's dynamic. We'll capture the users, then the ID that we are going to delete. So we just need to copy this one. Then here, let's paste that. And then here, it's for the product, but here we need to remove the pay name and change it to the full name. And then let's remove this one, and we are good to go. So let's refresh, view users, and then let's delete test 3 go danger. Let's update some. Title would be, I don't know, delete user. Then here in our message, going to highlight or make the full name strong. So let's refresh and delete Jackie Chan, delete. Fresh, can see Jackie Chan is removed. So the title, it's not showing. I'm sorry. Title should be inside the BootstrapDialog object, not inside the AJAX. So refresh, then remove the test and test. Delete users, you can see we have the header. We okay, test successfully. Let's do the delete again, but cancel. Hope it deletes even if we cancel that one. So let's just add if is delete. So that means the user click the OK or the delete button. Refresh, let's do this again. Cancel, so it's not deleting. Delete, so they are removed. Let's go back to our view product. Let's try if we delete, and if we cancel, it should not remove. So next we're going to create or add the edit feature in our page.